Hey, Steve Magnante here at High-Octane Classics in Auburn, Massachusetts with a high-octane muscle car walk-around. In this case, a 1970 Pontiac GTO Judge. Now, we know it's a GTO because the VIN starts with a 242. It could be a regular GTO, but we know that the Judge markings are here, and that's factory stuff on a GTO Judge for 1970, 71, and really part of 72. Also, the trim rings are absent on the rally wheels. There's no chrome trim ring on that. That was standard stuff on a GTO Judge. Apparently, Pontiac was trying to go after the less is more vibe of the Plymouth Roadrunner, and so less was more. You got less trim ring, less expense on the trim rings, a more austere street racer vibe. Also, the Judges came standard with blacked out hood scoop indents right here, and that was standard fare. Now, this one also has the optional Endura nose, the rubber nose, the bumper right here, and underneath that, we have some cool stuff to check out. The mighty Pontiac 400 V8, complete with the ram air system, which was standard on the GTO Judge, optional on lesser GTOs. But again, this system right here, these foam buffers sealed to the bottom side of the hood scoops, providing the engine with a cooler dose of denser air for better horsepower. And this is the vacuum device right here, which opens and closes the flappers inside of this. And basically, it's a cool little device right there, specific to the GTO Judge and properly rendered right here. The Pontiac blue, present and accounted for, front disc brakes, standard equipment on the GTO Judge right here. There's the Moraine booster and dual circuit master cylinder. And this one, just a beautifully done restoration, not overly done and not underly done. Get the right textures and finishes. The chrome valve covers are correct for a GTO and a Judge. The only thing better than this would have been the 455, which was an option on the Judge in 1970, and I believe 71 as well. Didn't make the same horsepower as a Ram Air 400, but I think I'll take the torque of the 400 or 455 any day. But still, a beautiful restoration right here, very correct, very original. And of course, being a GTO, we have the mighty Gran Turismo Omologato, which is Italian for homologation. In other words, we made enough for the SCCA to see these cars as legal road race cars, the Ferrari GTO 1962, the 250 GTO. That's what GTO stands for, Gran Turismo Omologato. Omologato is homologated, meaning we've made enough of these things for the sanctioning bodies to qualify them as a real race car. And these GTO Judges had nothing to do with Ferraris at all, except for borrowing that name, and it was smart. Jim Wangers and the guys at Pontiac were very smart in where they took their references from. Grand Prix, GTO, and Judge, of course, was an iconic thing. On the brow of each wheel opening, these op art psychedelic looking colors here. We got some blue, got some orange, some yellow, and these basically rattle your retinas and give you a psychedelic experience without the drugs, literally. Because this was the period of the San Francisco Summer of Love, if you will, and so basically psychedelic stuff was in. And this is factory graphics right here. These are available in reproduction, but these are the real deal. Inside this one is a 4-speed, and there it is, the Hurst 4-speed, a factory Hurst installation. Automatics were possible on these, but we can see there's the Hurst 4-speed. That's an M21 4-speed with an aluminum case and a nice light transmission, very tough and rugged, totally able to take the 400 cubic inches torque output. This one also has the 1970 redesign of the tail spoiler, which was a Judge feature. And of course, here's that op art right there of the Judge logo. And Artie Shaw on Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In had a thing called Here Come the Judge, Here Come the Judge. That's a play on that. And here it is right here. Car Life magazine right here. This is March of '69 when the Judge was a new car. And here's a Judge test in here. And right here we can see the Judge road test. And you can see right there that the Judge comes down, the spoiler comes down right there, ready to pinch your fingers if you slam the hood shut or the trunk shut right here. So for 1970, Pontiac got away from the lawsuits that were getting ready to happen from amputations of fingers by slamming it. Now there's a spacer right there, so you can't really sever your fingers unless you really wanted to. You have to be a silly guy and crunch them off down here. But that is the second version of the trunk spoiler for the Judge. Now the exhaust tips on these are specific to the GTO and the Judge. Quad outlets, chrome right there, poking out through the body colored valance, just a crisp restoration right here. And in the back of this is, here it is, the bucket seats up front. This is kind of neat, some things that are going to be yet to be installed on this one here, but this right here is kind of a cool thing. This is the cable operator for the ram air, and Yeah, ram air system. But this thing here under the dashboard, you push and pull on this right here, which then activates the flapper doors inside of the scoops, which then give that cold air to that 400 cubic inch V8 Pontiac engine. And again, just a beautiful engine turn dashboard. The formula wheel, similar to what you'd find in a Trans Am of this same period. Tilt column right there, kind of a cool deal. And this car is for sale. You can check it out on the High Octane Classics website to see full detailed pictures and maybe even get to hear it run. And this is a great example. It's got the correct exhaust manifolds, no headers, no hop-up stuff on this one. You really have to admire the attention to detail and the quality of the restoration on this 1970 Pontiac GTO Judge. It's a real car. It's very cool. And you can check out more about this car on the High Octane Classics website.